Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Okay. Morales is in custody. Is Alejo present? He's in the courtroom?
He was, Judge. Did he go to the bathroom?
He's here.
Oh, he's
He's here, Judge. So's the interpreter. Just a second.
So many people was talking at one time. I didn't hear what you said.
Yes, Mr. Alejo is here, as is the interpreter.
On the record, in the matter of the people, can you mute him, please? On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Eduardo Domingo Alejo, file number 22-02277. Can I have the interpreter's name on the record, please?
Pablo Bello.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony? I'm sorry, you do solemnly swear or affirm that you're going to interpret in the matter now before the court completely and accurately and not divulge confidential communication? So help you God.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Okay, and can you spell your name, please?
Pablo Bello, P-A-B-L-O. P as in boy, E-L-L-O.
Thank you. Okay, and Mr. Alejo, today's the date set for a probation violation arraignment.
Oye, tiene un arraigo por violar su libertad condicional.
I have before me a request and summons for probation violation.
Una recomendación de la oficina de libertad condicional.
It alleges that you violated your probation
Donde dice que usted violó su libertad condicional.
by committing the following technical probation violations.
Y que cometió usted una violación a su libertad condicional con una technicalidad.
It alleges that you failed to submit to random drug testing
Dice que usted no se sometió a los exámenes para detectar drogas que hacen al azar.
on August 8th,
En agosto 8,
August 9th,
agosto 9
and August 19th.
y agosto 19.
It also alleges that you failed to continue or enroll in programming at community mental health.
Y también no te enrolaste en los servicios de comunidad, mental. Yes.
Okay, you have the right to have a contested hearing.
Tienes el derecho a tener una audiencia donde contestas a los cargos.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney at that hearing.
Tienes el derecho a que te represente un abogado durante esta audiencia.
If you're found to be guilty of the violations,
Se encuentra culpable de estas violaciones a libertad condicional.
your probation status can be revoked.
Tu estatus como una persona con libertad condicional puede ser removida,
It can be extended,
puede ser extendida,
or you could be sentenced to a term of jail time.
o puede ser condenado a pasar días en la cárcel.
Do you understand that?
¿Entiende esto? Sí. Yes.
Does he want to request an attorney to represent him?
¿Usted quiere pedir un abogado que lo represente? Sí. Yes.
Okay, so we'll have you meet with the public defender's office and we'll set this for a hearing. We'll enter a plea of not guilty today.
Lo vamos a declarar no culpable para que se pueda usted reunir con un abogado defensor público. Okay.
What's the hearing date?
October 2nd at 1:30.
Octubre 2 a la 1:30.
Do you have any questions today?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta, señor?
No.
No.
Okay, you're all set. Have a seat and we will get you in a private space with the public defender in just a moment, okay?
Tomes asiento y ahorita te hablan. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Andrew Perales Jr., file number is 22-02266. You can have a seat, sir, because I'm not able to see you if you stand up because you're so tall. Oh, it actually did move. There you go. Okay, Mr. Perales, today's the date set for an arraignment on a probation violation. I have here a request and summons for probation violation. It alleges that you violated the terms of your probation by committing the following technical probation violations. It says that you failed to report to probation for your orders appointment back on August 3rd, 2023. And so you have the right to have a contested hearing. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at that hearing. If you're found to be in violation as alleged by this summons and complaint, your probation status can be terminated or it can be extended, or you could face a fine or jail time. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you want to request an appointment by the public defender's office to represent you for this?
No, Your Honor. No, I'd like to take care of it. I'd like to take care of it.
You want to plead to the violation?
Yes, Your Honor. 'Cause I was in the hospital at the time.
Raise
I
your
got
right
out of
hand,
jail.
raise your right hand, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Okay, and I've advised you of the rights as it pertains to the violation, and you understand that a guilty conviction or determination of the violation could result in jail time, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, or I could extend your probation, or I could give a further oversight as a result. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to waive your right to be represented by an attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're saying that you do not want to have a hearing in this matter, you want to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor. Yes, I'd like to take care of it. Yes, Your Honor. I'm not trying to move forward with my life. Yes.
Okay, and are you pleading guilty to the violation because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what happened?
I was in the hospital. I talked to my bonds agent, and they were supposed to let the courts know what's going on with me. And then I just received. I got picked up by the state police before I was able to get another court date in the mail. And I'm just now learning all this like right now today, and I've been in jail since the 12th.
When did you get out of the hospital?
I was in the hospital the 28th, and then I got out the hospital, and then I went back in on the 3rd
The 3rd of what?
last month.
And when did you get out?
Like a week and a half later.
Okay, and
That's
what
because I got blood clots in my leg. Yes.
did you contact? Did you contact?
I did talk to. Yeah, I did. I talked to my bonds agent, and they said they're gonna let them know that they're gonna let the courts know, and that they would be giving me a call back like in another week, and I didn't hear nothing.
Your bonds agent or your probation officer? Because I ordered you to probation, and once their sentence is in, you're no longer under bond order. You're under probation order now.
Yeah, Your Honor, I'm sorry. Then it was a wrong person. Then I contacted the bond people.
Okay, well, that you're not to contact the bond people if you miss or don't do something that the court ordered you to do when you're on probation. You need to contact your probation officer, or you need to contact my office, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry about that, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept your plea. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. It says here that they spoke to you, your probation officer, who is Joe Sumter, spoke with you on the phone to schedule your orders appointment for the 3rd, and that you were a no-show. He left you a voicemail and sent you a letter on the 7th of August, and he received no response, and you were a no-show. I did not sign this violation until August 24th. So if you were released from the hospital, it was your responsibility to get this taken care of immediately, and that could have avoided this being issued. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do apologize. I do apologize to the courts.
Okay, well, we don't want you to apologize. We want you to do better about taking care of your business, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna continue your probation. You need to report to your probation officer within 24 hours of being released from custody. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your question?
I had some other matters and stuff that were supposed to be taken care of through the courts, and there's nobody, I haven't heard anything on that. Can you address those today?
I don't have a
possible?
clue. I have one case with your name on it before my court today. I don't know what you're being held on, and I'm not gonna go pull a bunch of files and address all your things for you right now. I have other people waiting for their court date.
Right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set.
Right.
Okay, let's see, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joshua Wetzel, file number is 22-02354 FY, council appearance.
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Joshua Wetzel.
Okay, Mr. Wetzel, today was the date that was set for a hearing on a probation violation. Mr. Lee, are we having a hearing today?
We are not, Your Honor.
Okay, so the violation that he failed to submit to random drug testing at reality counseling on July 11th, July 27th, August 1st, August 11th, and the violation that he failed to re-enroll in domestic violence counseling or programming at Cognitive Consultants, he's pleading guilty to.
Correct.
Is that correct, Mr. Wetzel?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wetzel, you have the right in this matter to proceed to a contested hearing. You have the right to be represented by counsel at that hearing. You are represented by the Office of the Public Defender for today's purpose. And the people are ready to proceed with your hearing. If you're found to be in violation of these allegations, your probation status can be revoked, or it can be extended, or you could be sentenced to a term of jail time. You understand that, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you want to waive your right to have that hearing so that you can enter a guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your hearing?
No, Your Honor.
Any promises being made to you in exchange for you entering a guilty plea?
No, Your Honor.
As to the violation that you failed to submit to random testing, drug testing, that is, at reality counseling on July 11th, July 27th, August 1st, and August 11th, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And as to the violations that you failed to re-enroll in domestic violence programming at Cognitive Consulting, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Factual basis, counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wetzel, were you sentenced to probation in case number 22-02354 FY?
Yes, yes.
And that was on or about May 13th of 2022, correct?
Yes.
And as part of that probation, you were asked to participate in random drug testing,
Yes.
and you were also asked to complete a domestic violence program
Yes.
at Cognitive Consultants, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Did you fail to submit to random drug testing on July 11th, July 27th, August 1st, and August 11th of 2023?
Yes.
And did you fail to re-enroll in domestic violence program at Cognitive Consultants?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions from Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea to the violations, and I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Other recommendation from your probation officer is to continue your probation at this time, but impose jail time to be suspended upon no further violations. Mr. Lee, you can make allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wetzel takes his probation very seriously, and up until this point was participating and was close to completion. He did suffer some personal tragedies in the months of July and early August. He had a sister-in-law and a niece that passed away in a car accident. This was his brother's wife and daughter. A little later, his brother took his own life, dealing with the grief of this. And shortly thereafter, his grandmother that he had been caring for passed of cancer. So he was just a bit overwhelmed with all that was going on in his personal life. He lost track of the priority of his probation. But he realizes the importance of it. He makes his apologies to the court and admits that he dropped the ball. He asked the court for another chance. He has already got a sponsor. He is completing telehealth therapies weekly when he can afford it. He's been working 35 to 40 hours a week at Kroger. He is trying, but he got a little off track. And perhaps understandably so. That's a lot of personal tragedy to deal with all at once like that. So we beg the court for a second chance to complete probation successfully.
Okay. First, my condolences to you, Mr. Wetzel. That is a lot to carry as it relates to dealing with personal grief. I think that the underlying issues that you have could only be exacerbated if you're not properly treating them and you're not addressing the reasons why you were put on probation in the first place. And this is not your first violation. So to say that you take this seriously, I can't take that. I can't hold a lot of weight to that because your record doesn't show that. Your record has to show me that you take this seriously. And I can recognize that you probably lost track of a lot of things that may have had importance to your personal life when you're dealing with what you're dealing with. But these things that we've put in place for you are only for your benefit, and really what you're going through, they can only help you even the more because you're really on the brink of a crisis if you don't address these issues and your life is at stake. We have a substance abuse issues that not being addressed, and you can't neglect that while you go through a crisis because that's when you tend to use the substances. So you're either going to have to willingly participate or we're going to force you to participate. Do you understand that? And the reason why we're forcing you is because we care about your well-being, not because we want to be punitive and penalize you. We want to save your life. Do you understand that?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. And so it was concerning to me when I saw that you missed so many testing dates in a row. But again, it does appear that your probation officer, who's had more interaction with you than I have, believes that you could get back on track and that the court just holding some time over your head would be beneficial. I was inclined at one point to put you on some kind of increased testing, but really we just need you to do the testing we ordered you to do to make sure that you're staying clean and that we don't need to implement some other resources to help you during this time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
With that being said, I am going to sentence you to 14 days Ingham County Jail. I'll suspend the 14 days upon successful completion of your probation without any further violations. I'm going to continue your probation. You need to report to your probation officer. You can do that by giving them a phone call or sending an email within the next 48 hours so you can get back on track with your testing. You need to re-enroll in your counseling, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and follow all previous orders of the probation order. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, Your Honor, that was very straightforward. Thank you.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Nothing for the defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Wetzel.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Is Christina Bryan present?
Yes.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christina Renee Bryan in file number 22-00224, council appearance.
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Christina Renee Bryan.
Okay, Ms. Bryan, today's the date that's set for what's happening here? For a hearing on a probation violation. Mr. Lee, are we having a violation today? A
No,
hearing? Okay.
no, we are not.
Okay, violations are one, fail to make payments of fines and costs, and number two, fail to provide verification of a new counselor. Okay, and is Brian's gonna plead guilty to that violation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct? Ms. Bryan, is that correct?
Yes, yes, I'm sorry. So, can I have just a moment with my client, Your Honor? I thought we were already at the sentencing phase. So I was, most of my
Oh,
discussion.
I think this might be sentencing. Did she plead guilty already?
I thought she already pled guilty to the
I have a note-
violation.
I have a note that she was to reappear in person because I think she might have had a technical issue.
That was what I have in my notes as well, Your Honor, is that she was going to plead to the violations, but due to technical issues, you ordered her here in person.
I think that was the issue.
So we're actually step up. We're actually a step ahead of the sentencing. So we actually have to put on the record the guilty plea to
Okay.
Yes. Okay, we're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Ms. Bryan, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Again, you have the right to have a contested hearing on this, and you have the right to require the prosecution and the probation department to put forth evidence to support the allegation that you violated the terms of your probation by failing to make fines and costs and or by failing to provide verification of your new counselor. If you're found to be in violation as alleged, your probation status can be revoked. You could be sentenced to a term of jail time, or your probation could be extended, or I can order other probation oversight measures. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to weigh those rights today in order to enter a guilty plea to the violation?
Yes.
Anybody
Yes, Your Honor.
threatening you to do that?
No, Your Honor.
Any promises being made to you to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
As to the violation that you failed to make fines and cost payments and that no payments have been made to date, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, and as to the violation that you failed to provide verification of your new counselor, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Bryan, were you sentenced to probation in case number 22-00224 FY?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, yes.
And as part of that probation, were you asked to attend counseling and
Yes.
provide proof of that?
Yes.
And were you able to provide proof of that counseling?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not talking about what you brought today. I'm talking about before, when they first made these allegations. Were you able to provide
Oh, before no,
proof of that?
but I am now.
But now you're.
Yes.
That's part of our explanation. Okay.
Yes. Sorry
So-
about that.
Yes, you did fail to provide her with proof of the counseling.
Yes.
Okay.
But now I do have the proof.
Excellent. And then did you also were you also asked to make payments as part of your probation?
Yes,
And did you fail to make payments?
I did, yes. But I did make a payment this Friday.
Yes. So now that's part of our explanation as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions from you, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Let's see. So from what I understand, she did fail to, but does have proof of mental health counseling right now.
she has proof of scheduled mental health counseling that she has not yet attended. So what she brought today, somebody came with her from Cristo Ray. It's her case manager, Teresa Piddington. She brought with her her appointment card. She has an appointment on September 20th with counselor Madison Boyle. And tomorrow she's getting an assessment done. So she's plugged into Cristo Ray. She says it's a place she really likes, people that she really relates to and feels good about working with. So that is where she's at today, Your Honor.
And she made a payment on her fines recently?
Yes, she recently paid $25 on her fines.
Okay, so I'll accept your plea. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. The concern that I have really isn't much about you making payments on the fines and costs, but I do want to clarify one thing. During the factual basis, Mr. Lee said where you requested, or did they request that you go to counseling? That was an order. It was not a request. You don't have a choice. You understand that? Not
Yes,
only
Your
that,
Honor.
I extended your probation so that you can provide us with evidence of such. I have gotten indications to believe that you may have thought that you were going to somehow play the system and make appointments that you don't show up to as it relates to your treatment. That's not going to be tolerated if that's what your intent was. I recognize you did bring someone here to verify that you have an appointment. But we're at the tail end of your probation. I don't care about an appointment. You should have been in counseling.
Yes, Your Honor.
The appointment means nothing if you're not getting the service. For all I know, you're not going to show up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set your sentencing out after this, and I'm going to extend your probation. You're going to report to me after your counseling. If you miss that counseling date, you might as well appear in person because you're going to be remanded in custody to serve jail time. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're not playing around with the counseling. It's not a negotiation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can I have a sentencing date?
When was the counseling appointment?
September 20th.
Do October 2nd at 1:30.
Okay, so you'll appear October 2nd at 1:30. And you can appear in person.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions at this time?
No, thank you.
You need to provide proof, documented proof to your probation officer prior to that date that you've been attending your counseling. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, I'm not very much concerned about the payments on the fines and the costs. Even after you complete my other terms, I can always order those to be collected through collections and or waive those as necessary. What I am concerned about is you getting treatment so you can be well and you can be productive in the community. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, unless you have any other questions for the court, you're all set.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have we seen Mr. Davis?
Don't judge.
Okay, sounds good. He's already in bench warrant status, though, correct?
He is not.
Okay, well, issue a bench warrant and he'll be in status then. That's all I have, correct?